I'm Sasha Joseph, and this is a simple overview of gerrymandering. Gerrymandering is a process where the parties in charge of the states can draw their local boundaries to be more advantageous for themselves. It allows political parties with some power in the region to either control all of it for themselves or completely shut out the other party. In America, since we live in a two-party system, the two are one and the same. In this hypothetical scenario where you have a 60% blue district or state and a 40% red one, you would probably expect you'd have about 3 blue representatives and 2 red ones. However, both of these maps, which would likely be considered legal in the United States, since it's very rare for the federal government to step in on state gerrymandering, you could have blue draw a map where it wins all 5 districts, and it doesn't look too bad, or red do it, and it doesn't look too bad either. You could probably make a case for this, where red is able to win. So local boundaries are very easy to mismanage. And let's see a real world example of this now. North Carolina won about 50% of the popular vote for Republicans. It hovers generally between 50 and 55% for the past decade. And in 2012 and 2014, this is a massively gerrymandered map, which anybody can tell. All of the Democrat seats are as Democratic as possible, and the Republican seats are spread out more. But on the flip side, in a hypothetical scenario, Democrats could do the exact same thing. Because they still have about 45% of the power in the state, they could easily win the majority. And again, this, in an alternate timeline, may have been legal. And this is more of a hypothetical, nonpartisan congressional map. This would probably be what most people would expect. In a state that's about 50-50, you'd probably want about 50-50 the seats, and then each campaign or each party would have to campaign for the remaining seats. Going to my seat itself, where I live, New York District 10, even though it is surrounded by safe blue seats, it doesn't really matter because it's still gerrymandered. And sometimes gerrymandering can have a purpose. The purpose of this district is arguably to put as many Jewish communities together in the same district so that they can have somewhat of a representative. And this is by far the most Jewish district in the country. So let's take a look at the most previous 2 elections, not counting the 2020 election. In 2016, Republicans, showcased on the left, are able to win 49% of the vote nationwide and win 241 of the seats. Now you might be thinking, okay, it's the majority, so they should control a majority of the seats. And since it's a two-party system, it makes sense. But now take a look at the 2018 midterm. Democrats win a comparable number of seats, but they win 10% more of the popular vote. It's very difficult to argue that this is fully representative when such wildly drastic swings in population can result in about the same result. It's not democratic, and it will increase over time. As Democrats become a more urban party, they consolidate their own support. As Republicans become a more rural party, being spread out, which is generally a good thing in American politics, is going to keep doing wonders for them. So the solution to gerrymandering is very complex. Many think it's independent redistricting commissions, which some states already do, but also every state that's in power giving their power to an independent redistricting commission would then remove themselves from the ability to help their party. So a lot of the time this doesn't happen, and we're in an awkward situation. So something federally has to be done. We have to end gerrymandering if we want to have a more representative system.